raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars. But we won't. So we're learning that fact. Very, very slowly.
Hey everybody, get ready, cause it's mature adult time. Mature adult time, yeah.
Is this annoying to you?
I would be hell of annoyed. I'm annoyed, and
Zach,
I'm a
do you
part of
listen
it.
to these, or are you just like, ugh, when is this over? I mean, yeah, when you're here.
No, Zach just
That
tunes
sounds
us
like a
out.
trick question. He wasn't going to do it. Welcome to Mature Adult Time. We're going live from the Cinema Bar. I'm Art Hernandez, and I'm here with...
I'm the Cosmic Cowboy.
Yeah, turn it on,
Headphoneless.
Eric Kaz.
There you go.
Don't tell them your headphoneless, man. They don't need to know that.
Cowboy. Well,
Cosmic Cowboy has no headphones.
I just think it's
Fucking
ridiculous.
rebel.
I can hear you guys fine.
I know.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all you
I'm
need.
making a
Cool.
fucking record.
I'm going to be playing sound farts.
All
There
right.
you go. And then John Davenport. Also
That's
here.
me.
Yay.
JD,
That's what a lot of people call me.
EK,
JD.
ART.
That's what he goes by.
And CC. Cosmic Cowboy. How you doing?
I'm fine. You know,
Yeah.
came in a little, a little ragged today, but I'm picking up. A shot of whiskey, 2 beers. I'm starting to feel maybe we can turn this thing around.
Yeah, perfect.
Where are you going to aim
You
it?
sound like a football player that's just open about his
I was
alcoholism.
thinking a football player that
Yeah.
just started doing NASCAR.
This is after being kicked out of the league for gambling, I can finally come clean. Hey man, fucking Pete Rose is still a hero.
Yeah?
A
Pete Rose?
statistical hero.
Is a personal hero?
Yeah.
But that asterisk is always
I mean,
gonna
would you
stay.
drink a beer with Pete Rose? Pete Rose
Is he
wanders
buying?
in right now. Will we
Is he
not
betting
have a
me that I
fucking
can do
awesome
it?
afternoon?
I drink a beer with
I
just
haven't.
about everybody that got kicked out of a league of any sort.
But the reality, I don't have anything to do with sports, actually.
No?
No, but you had a pretty big weekend. You had Texas Independence Day.
It was Texas Independence Day on Friday. That's right, 182 years.
182
haven't
years.
Great
left
nation
yet?
of Texas.
Yeah.
It's fantastic
They've only been independent
country.
for 182 years.
Texas has been independent for 182 years. There's
Wow.
this thing called statehood. We don't really recognize it.
You know,
That's
No.
weird.
I find Texas
When-
to be a horrible place.
Doesn't even really matter.
I feel like a lot
I mean,
of
it
the
re-
southern
really-
states
I
really
mean-
stick to the statehood.
We're not supposed to talk about this.
I need to know a little bit about the statehood.
Well,
yeah, I'm interested in
it's
the
a
history
backdoor
of Texas.
deal, really, to kind of prop up the U.S. And we don't like to talk about it
Is that where
because
you get the Lone
without
Star?
Texas, you get no space program. Who you're going to call when you have a problem.
I thought
You
the
can't
space
call. You
program
can't
was
say
in Florida.
Indianapolis. We have a problem. You got to fucking call Houston. So.
Oh,
you need,
Oh, my God.
Oh, that
and
was a
all
slow
your big
burn, wasn't
military
it?
bases are down there, and
They
you
could
know.
have just changed the name of the place.
no one else could have tamed those Mexicans. They're wild.
Hey, the Texans are still Mexicans.
Texicans.
Texicans, yeah.
Mexicans.
They like their
Tejanos.
Texican food.
Although I found out that Texicans was an actual thing, and they were kind of racist.
Yeah.
So I don't
yeah?
say that. I say Tejano.
I think if you're around the same amount of people for long enough, you become a little racist.
What if they're all different? Do you think they still
They
you
couldn't be.
still become? No, if you grow up in like a pretty diverse area, do you think that you get more racist or less racist?
Depends on if you're doing good or bad in that area. Like if you're thriving in that area, you're
So
probably doing all
racism
right.
has to do with economic disparities.
No, it has to do with the ugliness of your skin.
You're doing all right,
Really
everybody's
cosmetic.
all right. When you're doing shitty, everybody's shitty.
This is
Yeah,
true.
that's fair.
I feel like I'm not. I feel like Texas is a shitty place. No offense.
Yeah.
Just never liked it when I was born.
Well,
I picked the state to
yeah.
hate. Only 2 things ever happened in Texas.
What?
Pantera
Pantera's
and
pretty
that
awesome.
other thing.
We got to hang out at Pantera's house.
Oh yeah.
We were hanging out with this girl, and she was cute, and they
Was that
liked her,
Dimebag
so
Darrell?
occasionally they would
Yeah,
let us
Dimebag
come around
Darrell.
with her.
And they're from Fort Worth.
Dallas,
How far are you from? How far did you grow up from there?
from Dallas.
Yeah.
I was closer to L.A.
Nice.
That's how big Texas.
Yeah. All right, I like it.
I was on the side that was closer to L.A. No, so I'm from way west Texas. It's
West Texas. So they when they talk about Texas, they talk about like the quadrants of Texas.
Right.
West Texas, and then there's like Austin, which is in its own
Like
category.
they'll call that like heel country, Central
Heel
Texas.
country. Okay, so what are the quadrants? Like how do you
Oh,
how
like
do
the
you
regions of
segregate that
Texas?
state?
Well, you have like East Texas, which are basically Louisianans, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
You know, like crocodiles. I don't even know. They're
That's
sucking on
hurricane
crawfish, and I
country.
got no use for it.
Okay.
Particularly, you know. And then the hill country is very nice. Obviously, lots of hills. You know, that's where Willie Nelson lives. And tend to be kind of more hippie kind of vibe down there.
Is
Then
there
you got the
weed?
panhandle, it's just real flat.
Yeah.
Wide open spaces. And then you got West Texas, which is actually like pretty much just all of Texas that isn't everything else.
What about the Gulf?
65%.
Is the Gulf
Yeah, kind
itself?
of like East, and that's like Central Texas.
Oh,
to me.
okay.
No, actually, I think you're right. Like like Del Rio and that stuff has its own vibe for sure.
Oh, okay.
All the border towns have their own vibe. I'm from the border.
Border
which
towns
is
are where
probably
it's
its
at.
own little quadrant too, because it's
You know,
a weird place to be.
no matter no matter what law you're in trouble with, you just run across the border.
And then
Sayonara.
Yeah, but
this
it's
direction or
I mean
that
it's
direction.
not like so if you run across the border to run from one problem, then you find another problem across the border. You can't just run back, can you?
Not at that spot. You
Yeah.
got to go west or
You
east
just
a little bit.
just run up and down the border.
Well, when we
Zigzag.
were kids,
Zigzag.
we have crossover from drinking.
It's like
right?
sailing.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
you're
tack and jibe.
if you're walking drunk from Mexico in the United States, you're walking across this bridge. So you're walking across this international bridge. So there's a point where you've passed the Mexicans and paid your 25 cents to them. But you haven't yet gotten to the Americans. This is like the top of the bridge. And that was like our favorite place to get in fights. It felt like it was like we were basically Mad Max up there. Anything could fucking happen.
What's your top 5
You're
favorite
lawless.
fight places? Because this sounds.
I
like
would
it's
say
in
that
there.
number. Well, I don't like to fight because I lose them mostly.
I could believe that.
That just sounds like you've learned a lot of lessons.
But that, dude,
Yeah.
that makes me think of like, you ever seen Bad Santa?
Maybe. Yeah,
So,
I'm bad at this bad movie.
Billy
game,
Bob
like,
Thornton, another Texan, I believe.
Yes.
He said, you don't have to win fights to be good at fights. You just have to learn how to take a punch.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I was a barback / bouncer in a bandito biker bar in West Texas for a while.
Yeah.
So I used to get hit by real big biker dudes,
Yeah, that sounds like. There's
and
probably
then
definitely-
like move kegs around. And I probably weighed like $140 at the time. I was like 22.
Wow.
What do you weigh now?
Oh.
Wrong question.
So if you're fighting in no man's land on the bridge, like what? Like they just let you go at it? Like do they?
Like there's like a private security guy that would like kind of chase you around. I think like with like a whistle or something.
That's all. That's
Or
all
like the
private
guy
security-
selling elotes would fucking come over and try to regulate.
Elotes.
But
It's
like,
corn.
it's
What?
it
That's
it really
corn.
did feel like that, and I think people got like fucked up.
Corn?
Yeah, you know, corn on
A
a,
bottle
on a
in the face
stick with
time.
like mayonnaise and Parmesan. Right?
You put mayonnaise and Parmesan on your corn?
Mayonnaise, yeah, it's Parmesan,
Yeah, it's
like
an-
but
that's
like
an
a
elote.
Kraft Parmesan,
Yeah.
some butter,
Some butter.
a little paprika.
Yep.
I've never
make
heard
it
of that.
red. They sell them all around here.
You get the fancy ones, you get a little cut up green onion, or like there's something they put like green flakes in there.
Well,
make it
that's
look
nice.
fancy.
That's
don't
like
get that
Texas
excited
style.
about
That's like
corn.
no, well, that's like you go to a fancy restaurant. in
Oh,
Venice
okay.
That sells elotes. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've
You
never.
pay
I've,
$14.
I've only got them on the street.
Yeah, well, good.
I've
Yeah.
only had street
Obviously,
elotes.
Yeah.
I was just letting you know what it was.
You got to keep it real. We got to, yeah.
Eric,
That
do you
sounds
have
nice, though.
anything to say? I feel like
No.
you've been.
I'm just taking it.
Eric
in right
doesn't
now.
hate Texas.
I do.
I
That's just my.
I don't
stance.
like Texas very much. I always feel awkward when I'm in Texas, but it's been a long time since I've
never
been there.
I always feel awkward in Massachusetts.
And the one thing
You should.
one of my first experiences in Texas when I was on tour is I'd show up, and at the time I was doing a lot of drugs, and I remember when I tried to buy cocaine, they only sold it in $20 bags, because he's like, yeah, everyone in Austin just wants to say they do it, but no one does any drugs down here. That was my
Why
first
didn't you
interaction
just,
with.
Why didn't you just buy a few of those bags?
I did. I mean, of course I did. I just
Oh,
thought it was
okay.
weird.
Man, Austin is a bunch of punk bitches.
I think
But not the
Portland
cool
is a shit
punks.
Austin.
Not the cool
but they're
kind.
like
like
related.
punk ass
They're like
bitches.
poser ass bitches.
I mean,
I've never been to Texas. I've never been to Austin, but it sounds so. I went to college in Madison, which everybody says is the Austin of the North.
Yeah,
Nobody
I've heard
ever
that.
says
What
that
does that mean?
Austin
Austin
is
of
the
the
Madison of the South, though. Because for some
Doesn't go
reason,
the other
everybody
way.
likes Austin more than Madison, probably because nobody gives a fuck about Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Texas is too much of an ego to forget about.
Yeah, I mean, their
I-
slogan is "Don't mess with Texas," right?
Yeah.
Sounds like someone who's been bullied too much.
Yeah. Yeah. The Wisconsinites.
You know.
I'm not
Texas.
even into Wisconsin. I'm not a
Wisconsin's
Wisconsinite.
got
You are.
fucking cheap beer,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we make
Cheese.
it.
and it's cold, so
It's
you
got
gotta, like,
good
stay
cheese.
inside and do stuff, and that's way more my speed.
Oh yeah, you're a
You would
winter
do.
guy.
You would do well in Wisconsin.
No, I don't
People
like.
would like
I don't
it.
like being cold per se.
Yeah, me neither. I don't like winter.
But I
Fine,
grew
get
up in the
used to it.
desert. It was hot. I like to be inside.
Yeah, I like the hot deserts.
I don't know. Would you prefer? I already know your answer, but would you prefer? Would you prefer to be in 100 degrees with 100% humidity, or 0 degrees with as many layers as you desire?
I don't deal with humidity well, so I would actually take cold in that one.
I would too.
I would do
every time.
naked.
I hate humidity.
I like a desert hot, like a dry heat. I'm super into.
Now, I'm from
can't do
Virginia,
the
man.
heat.
We had the
Yeah.
humidity and the heat.
Yeah, I can't.
That
do it.
shit's rough.
I'm a sweater.
I
Yeah,
am
me too.
Yeah.
Hairy guy
Heavy sweater.
with all this hair, dude.
Heavy
Yeah,
powder.
It's like a
Yeah, I can't. I'm not a fan of the heat very much.
It's like-
I do like the cold, but since I've been living out here a couple of years, I go back to the Midwest in the winter, and I don't like the cold either. I don't like any of it.
Because your blood is thicker now.
Yeah.
You're
You
not
get thick
adapted
blood?
to
Is-
it.
I guess yeah. Is it
I've been
thickens up in the
freezing
heat?
my balls off.
Yeah, if you have thin blood, that means you're used to the cold, right? Doesn't it?
I don't know. I know one of them.
Sounds
think
like
that means
it does
you
one.
should fight
and
it.
you're less likely to have a heart attack. Like you eat a lot of aspirin.
In the cold?
It thins your blood.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Is that what aspirin does?
Aspirin's a blood thinner.
I wonder why. I wonder what the
you ever feel
advantage
like
is
you're
to having
gonna
thin
have a heart
blood.
Because
attack.
you're,
Because
you're
it doesn't clot.
yeah, your veins will would
I never thought
everything
about
would flow
that.
more. Arteries and veins included. Look at those sweet boots.
Yeah, what kind of?
Cables the snakes are tangled up in my snakes.
Yeah. What kind of boots are you sporting there?
These are some 1984 Tony Lama Western Diamondback boots.
Is Tony
just-
Lama like a
You just described it like a fucking hot rod, dude.
Yeah, it was.
It's funny. I have another pair of boots that people were like, "What's so special about these boots?" And I'm like, "These are like the Porsche boots. Like they'll cost me a G. They'll last my whole life."
People understand
Like-
the car analogy,
So
but
there
not
was
the
a guy
boots.
who moved to El Paso, Texas, an Italian guy named Lucchese,
Okay.
famous boot maker. He trained a guy named Tony Lama. So around the 70s, 80s, Tony Lama started making stuff. And today El Paso is still the cowboy boot capital of the world. So I collect them. They retain
Nice.
value. But you can't find. I was saying earlier. Everybody gets snakeskin now. They try to sell you pythons. I've never seen a python, but I've seen a lot of rattlesnakes.
So there's even in snakeskin boots, there's like a hierarchy of what type of skin it is.
I
Hell
just
yeah.
feel like if I'm gonna act like,
He wants a native boot.
yeah, I want like the snake who sees this to know, like, oh no.
Native snake boot.
That makes
Like,
sense.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's the difference between a copperhead and a rattlesnake?
They're just different snakes.
Doesn't the rattlesnake have a rattle and the copperhead
I don't know.
doesn't?
Copperheads have
I think
rattles
they're totally
too.
So then they're both
Do they rattle?
rattlesnakes.
Yeah, but is a copperhead
then
a
there's-
specific kind of
Yes,
rattlesnake?
it is. It's a head.
Well,
it's
what about a diamondback?
a diamondback has a diamond pattern
Yeah, so you
across
can see
its
the
back,
diamonds on this.
Right.
and a copperhead doesn't. It
Has a
It
copper
has a
head.
copperhead. Yeah.
Well, I think we
Well, they're
just
both
figured it out,
rattlers.
didn't we?
I think so.
I don't
It's
know,
like
when
science
they
has laid it out there
rattle-
for
I know
us.
the diamondbacks, and I know when they rattle, just to not fuck with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I like
You
to
don't
have
have
them on
to
the
be
boots.
from Texas to know that.
That's how I feel.
It's a scary sound. You
Yeah.
get the fuck away from them.
Not if you're hungry.
If you're
You know, they
fucking
actually
hungry
operate
and
pretty good.
you resorting to snakes,
There's a place actually that serves.
should still be
steak
scared.
sausage.
I can't believe you're putting down snake. Have you had it? It's delicious.
I've never eaten snake before.
Snake's great, dude.
Where's this place?
Just like
you're,
chicken.
You're saying there's a place right down the street?
Well, Lincoln.
Oh, where's Coochie?
Yeah, at the Cooch.
Yep.
They call it
Worst
Cooch.
cooch.
Where's Cooch?
At the Cooch, they sell
Midwestern
it's a
right
snake
there.
Sausage.
No,
and,
those are the German folk, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
it's definitely.
rabbit.
Big in the
Yeah,
Midwest.
they have rattlesnakes stuffed with rabbit sausage there.
Oh hell yeah,
It's
dude!
good.
I would love to try that.
It's a great sausage.
I don't think I've ever had rabbit or snake.
Well, on
so plentiful.
this Easter, I'm making rabbit.
Really?
I've heard about this.
Yeah,
Why?
It's for its Easter Fools. The April Fools and Easter land on the same day.
No shit, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing a thing called It's Easter Fools.
What if Jesus doesn't come back from the dead?
Oh, you know my theory on that, right?
No.
That Jesus had a double, and Judas did sell him out, but he sold the double, and then 3 days later, actual Jesus came back, and that was like his prestige, like that magic trick.
You think the Bible forgot to mention that
No,
Jesus had
they
a
didn't
twin?
forget to
No,
mention.
they chose
He had
not
a
to.
double.
see
I didn't say he had a
something about
twin.
this, yeah.
And he was a miracle. Why couldn't he have a twin
He's
miracle?
a miracle only because they wrote it that way.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to roll this back though to your thing. Okay, so there's a lot of themes I think in this rabbit thing. So you're grilling rabbits. It's April Fool's and it's Easter.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm thinking things
Fools.
like, are they not going to be rabbits? Or are they going to end up being something worse? You'd be
Maybe
like,
I'll-
you thought they were
maybe I'll
rabbits,
s-
but they were really
The rabbit stuffed with iguanas. April Fools.
This is
some
probably good
animal
too,
everybody
man.
likes. But people already like rabbits.
I've eaten iguana too. I had an old coworker
Oh,
who
yeah.
his daughter had a iguana.
What's the weirdest thing you've eaten? So far, you've named 3 things that I
Lesbian
have never
pussy.
eaten before. All right.
I've eaten like
That's
so
not
much.
weird.
things.
Everybody
I
does that.
I ate a Filipino thing called balut, which is like a fertilized egg,
Yeah.
and it's like halfway in there. So there's like little bones and fuzz and everything, and you crack it open.
Like
Really?
like a chicken egg or what type of?
Yeah,
egg?
it's a
That's
chicken
win.
egg.
That's a good answer.
So you ate a partially developed fetus.
Yeah, and it was really weird because it tasted like how a bat wing looks.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's like kind of like. Have you ever had soft shell crab?
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Isn't it kind of weird eating the shell too?
No, I ate the
If
rind.
The first time
everything.
you're having like the first time you have it, you're like, I'm eating an exoskeleton.
Yeah.
You ever
it's
just
all
get lazy with shrimp though? You're just like, nah,
right. Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's different.
I do that with.
The
I've done
shrimp has
anything.
been primed and prepared.
I've done it with crawdads too. Like I'm tired of peeling you, and just start eating it, man.
I used to eat the whole apple,
Yeah, I do too.
Seeds and all.
seeds and all, and the stem.
Yeah, you gotta eat
And
it all.
here's the weird thing, man. I thought I ate the whole apple because that's how my dad taught me. And then, like, years after I'd been doing this, I ate the whole apple in front of my dad. And he's like, "Why are you eating the fucking whole apple?"
Yeah, you're eating
I was
the
like,
core.
"I learned it from you." And he's like, "I've never done that my whole life." I don't know how I came up with that
You
fake
just thought,
memory.
you just thought like, yeah, my dad finishes apples, so will I.
Yeah, no, I have no, it's mystifying.
That's hilarious, man. That apple fell very far from the tree.
You do take
guess
things
so.
really serious when you're a kid trying to learn from your parents. You're like,
Oh yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I saw him get out, and then you just invent this whole thing. Oh, he just
yeah.
smashes apples
yeah.
in 3 bites.
Especially if like if your parents are anything kind of like stoic,
Yeah.
and they don't preach to you really, like you got to learn by example, and you put them on a pedestal even more because they haven't wasted your mind with words yet.
Right.
They're just like elegant.
You have to fill the empty space with your own, 8-year-old mind.
Yeah.
Whatever you can dream up.
See, I
Most
had
of it was just
significance.
like candy fantasies.
I had
for me.
television for that. I would just watch.
Yeah, I watched a lot of television, a lot of movies when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, my TV time was regulated.
I
Oh,
didn't
yeah?
have a lot of candy fantasies. Can you elaborate more on your childhood candy fantasies?
I was a fat kid, man.
Oh, I didn't know.
liked candy a lot.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, dude, you should have seen me when I was a kid. I had these big old buck teeth. I was a chubby checker for sure. Dude,
I used to call it husky. Remember that?
that's what my mom
Yeah,
called
when
it,
you go to
and I
Kmart,
always
it was
threw
the
the bullshit. I was like, "You're trying to say fat, but you don't have the heart
No,
to do it."
yeah,
right?
no, Mama and I had to talk about this recently. I was like,
Yeah,
remember the
fancy
husky
fat.
section? Mama, she was like, I remember.
My mom always called me husky. I felt more degraded by that.
It
term.
is.
She had to find. It's basically the version. It's like being called special instead of retarded. You're trying to sugarcoat,
It's like-
and I like sugar already.
Would she make eye contact, or would she like kind of stare off, like you're just husky?
Yeah, you're just husky.
My mom never made eye contact.
With a big fucking sign on the ceiling.
Until you
You're
lost weight,
clearly
right?
in
Now
that
she talks to
section.
you.
No, I didn't lose weight. I just grew up instead of out.
Oh, see, hear that? If you're just a fat kid, you might grow up.
You need a growth spurt. That's
I've
gonna
never
help
had
you
one.
out.
I was a butterball for quite some time.
I thought you said you weighed $140.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when he
so I
was
saying,
18.
when I was, yeah, when,
Oh,
like, yeah.
18.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm talking
okay.
until I was like, I don't know, 10, 12, something like that.
Kind of
I was
chubby?
yeah, oh yeah. They called me Bubba. I mean, that was fine.
Bubba?
I'm a Bubba. You
Cosmic,
don't get to be a
doesn't mean
Bubba walking in a
fat,
room being all
Cosmic
skinny.
Bubba.
No. That's
Bubba's,
Bubba's.
Bubba's not. So still,
If they called you butter,
Mama still calls me Bubs.
What-
I was
Sometimes
gonna
when I'm real
say,
sad.
did they take it away? Like
She
once
calls
you
you
lost
Bubs
weight, were they
when
like,
you're
nope,
sad?
you're not
No,
a Bubba
but I
anymore?
do have another cousin who's like much more of a Bubba, and he kind of owned.
He
Bubba.
took it over.
But I can still be like Bubbers to my mama.
Oh,
Hey, did
Bubbers.
your
I like
cousin
Bubba
that,
Cito.
Bubbers. Yeah.
does your cousin that's more fitting of the name Bubba? Does
Yeah.
he have a extended lower jaw by any chance?
Is that a Forrest Gump reference?
Yes, it is.
Better tuck that lip in before you get caught on the tripwire.
Man, that would sting. If I had a like one of what do you call those
I just hope my
underbite?
cousin Bubba's not
Yeah,
listening to the
just an
podcast.
underbite with the big
I
lip.
guarantee you he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No, I guarantee
His
you
children
he's
are
right.
listening, and the year is 2040.
Did you tell your whole family about this?
Hell yeah, everyone's got
Well,
it.
I think,
I'm
you know,
talking
like, hey,
to your
we're real
guest right
supportive
now.
of each other, you know, down there. That's how we do each
Is
other.
that right?
And our wild little fantasies and things.
I don't tell my people
yeah, no,
about
everybody
anything.
tries to tune in.
When did you go from Bubba to Cosmic?
Oh God.
Probably as soon as he got those sunglasses.
Those are
17.
fire
Those
sunglasses.
are some
Probably
fucking
took at
Hunter S.
least
Thompson
20 years of
sunglasses.
acid, you know.
20?
20
Holy shit.
Yeah, these.
And
it-
like
it-
at once or over a prolonged
I've
period
never
of
done
time.
20 at once. That'd be crazy.
I think you'd still be high on it right now.
I'll tell you what. Let's talk about these glasses. So a lot of people are like, oh, cool glasses. You pick them up at a fucking gas station. Commitment. These fucking things are prescription. Man.
They're nice.
nice.
They
Wow,
look
you really-
nice.
you went the extra mile on
They're
that.
fucking fantastic. These ones I got my indoor ones. These are all those sun.
I didn't even notice you had
They
a
become-
backup stash in your front pocket.
They were like right
Well, it's
outside.
all
That's how much
about
you got
it's all
going
about
on right
rose-colored
here. Didn't notice
glasses,
that.
Jim. So I've got this big life philosophy about, you know, everything is the way you see it. So we gotta live with rose-colored glasses. See the
Oh,
world
I like that.
way. The other
Yeah.
thing is if and I'm not saying for me, but you know, if somebody was high, you had glass like this, you wouldn't be able to tell how red they are.
Yeah, but I think anyone walking down the street with glasses like that, I just assume is high. It's like, oh, yep, that guy's high.
That's
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
That's fucking racist.
Do you get Hunter S. Thompson or
Profiler.
Bono more
Do I get Hunter S.
with the
Thompson?
glasses?
Hunter S. Bono.
I don't get any of them.
called
I
Bono a
got,
lot.
you know, some guy drove by me the other day and yelled, "John Denver," and I
Right.
felt, I don't know, I had a weird time.
Was
with
that
I really
is that
liked
a
it.
compliment?
Yeah, but you
or
kind of
insult? What
do
does he
look
mean?
like John
I
Denver.
love John Denver.
There you
You just
go.
need
That's
a
a good
beard.
What a soft teddy bear of a man.
Yeah. What's he known for?
Dying.
Truck ads, right?
No, he's known
Dying and
for
take me home country roads.
Almost
That's about it.
Heaven, West Virginia. That's John Denver.
Country road.
Yep, to come
Yeah.
sing later.
Yeah, he's done a bunch of songs. They're like country anthems.
Actually, I always get surprised with how much of a range of music this guy knows.
All
Like
right.
truly.
All right, well, we'll test him later.
Yeah, good. You.
Yeah.
He
Let's
is
test me now.
He is
I'm
great.
ready.
He is great. Old school country.
Oh, I don't know anything about country music.
You do well. You
just
you
said
clearly
John
do. You
Denver.
just did. You just
Yeah,
did. You
John
just did
Denver,
great.
that's-
You did great.
And you
I
called
think
them
you're
country
fine.
anthems. I mean,
I think you're doing great. I'm behind
Sounds like you have a crush on him.
John Denver? No.
you.
Who's your? If you had to fuck a country singer, who would it be? Don't say Cosmic Cowboy because he's here.
I wouldn't
Reba
say it
McEntire.
even if
Reba
I wanted
McEntire,
to.
yeah, for sure.
It'd probably be Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash
Why
is
did
the
you
man,
go to a
dude.
dude?
Yeah. What about Dolly Parton?
No,
You want a dude? I feel you. Johnny Cash. That'd be cool.
Johnny Cash, man.
You
I
think
mean,
he'd-
look, I got nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I
But
was
I
gonna
like
call him
Dolly Parton. Like,
We're gonna swing that.
young Dolly Parton.
you go Dolly Parton.
23-year-old Dolly Parton.
I don't even know what she looks like, but
Or
I'm
50-year-old
imagine the
Johnny
titties
Cash.
is
looks
about
the
the same
same
time.
now.
she looks the same.
Faith Hill. I'd go Faith Hill.
But yeah,
I
when,
get
when
on
you first
two
asked that
equals on
question,
that
I
one.
thought you meant like country singers that were dudes.
Oh, sounds
and
like
now I'm backtracking.
sounds
I
like
don't
you have
want
a
to
gender
do
bias.
that.
You know who my heart lies with? Emmylou Harris.
Yeah.
Emily Lou?
So it's
I saw
I don't
her.
know- I don't know who that
Did you
is.
play a video and she was young and or younger? I guess she's old now, but she was a very beautiful chick.
Don't call her
Ra-
old. She's my
like-
girlfriend.
Well,
Emily Harris, did she have like, was she?
Yeah.
what's a water wing?
You don't know what water wings are?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
inflatable.
When you're learning to swim.
They're
Oh, I
inflatable
was a
little
fish.
balloons. That
I was
you-
a kid. Yeah, you know, I learned how to swim. My cousin Zeke threw me into the pool.
Yeah.
I sank like a rock. His girlfriend pulled me out, and I go, I need to learn how to swim. And I just started learning how after that.
That's kind of how I learned how to drive.
Also, how I learned how to drive too. That's how I learned how to drive standard. They put me on a hill, and they were like, "All right, light screen." There's like a car behind you. You'd be like, "You'll figure it out. Find that clutch."
Oh, dude.
that hill
My
right.
dad started me in a fucking public school parking lot, and 3 hours later, I was on the interstate on I-95 with experienced drivers, and it was like that scene in Clueless when they get on the highway and they're freaking out. Except my dad wouldn't let me freak out. He's like, "That shit's for fucking pussies. you suck it up,
Yep.
and you fucking drive like a man." And I knew how to drive after a day.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's like the equivalent of being thrown in the pool.
My mom thought I was a genius driver because right when she was like trying to teach me, I already knew how. But that's because when I was younger, I used to steal her car all the time, and she never knew. So I was practicing all the time anyway.
You criminal.
I wasn't a criminal. She
Just cru-
owned it. It's my mom's car.
Would you just cruise around the neighborhood?
My mom would give me, yeah. I'd go out and try to skateboard places. Sometimes I would just drive around my apartment building. I had nothing else to do. Couldn't afford drugs. Just gotta steal a car and drive.
Why didn't you steal some money
Can't
while
do
you
that
were
shit
at it?
now.
Can't steal something that wasn't there. There was a car for sure. There was no money. My mom didn't have money lying around.
Now they got fucking
What am I, a
trackers on
Rockefeller?
that car, and
Yeah.
they'd get a secret
Things
app
make it
alert that
Right?
right? Trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
steal the car.
Oh,
again.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
I just watched this Black Mirror episode where a lady chips her kid. And the chip is like basically you can see where your kid's at location wise and see what your kid's seeing.
Dude, that shit. Yeah, I
It's
saw
cre-
that
that-
episode.
yeah,
Dude, that show is fucking awesome.
It is. It's one of the coolest shows, but it's scary.
They always bill it as like the modern Twilight Zone,
Absolutely, 100%. I'd say that.
and it is mind bending, isn't it?
It is. I really liked this last season too because it was set like it seemed to be set closer in the future than some of the other ones. Like it was like, oh yeah, I could definitely see people having implants in their head like within the next 5 years.
Do you remember the one with like it's the dating app and it tells you how long you're gonna be with the person?
Yeah.
And you have to endure the whole length of it, regardless of whether you're enjoying yourselves or not. You remember the black actress that was the lead in that?
Yes.
I saw her at my restaurant just last week, and I wanted to ask her so bad. I was like, "What's it like being in Black Mirror?" But
You didn't?
It's got to be great.
I'm a busser and a runner.
It's got to be
No.
great and sad because like you don't. No one on Black Mirror comes back, right? You just it's a one and
one and
done.
done.
But it's like a little movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like minisodes.
Vignettes.
Vignettes. That's a great word for it.
I just made that word up.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
That's an
I'm
actual
pretty sure I
word.
just invented that word.
You can't just take credit. For
I told you I'm a
things
wordsmith.
that
I like
you
to say
didn't
things
invent.
with French pronunciations.
Like what? French
Like
fries.
like poussey.
Like, I'm gonna have,
Fragile.
well, of course, the British are very sensitive about this. You
That's
don't
his
have a
people.
filet
Those are
mignon,
my
you have a
people.
fillet.
The
You
fillet.
don't have a
You're
fillet,
British?
you have a fillet.
Could I have
You're
a fillet?
goddamn right. You got to fill it.
But,
I feel like Texans
that like
are
something you say in
I
exacerbating
like to
that
say
shit.
things like, je ne sais quoi. Trying to think of
What does
other
that
things.
mean? You know karate?
That means he doesn't know what he's about to example.
Oh.
Use as an example.
Oh, like how do you say? It's like this. How do you
Je ne
say?
sais quoi. That means I don't know.
Like you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
come on, Eric. Eric,
I don't
got
know.
me out here.
I don't know.
You went
yeah.
to fucking college, man. Come on.
No, man. I dropped out of high
all
school.
I know is
Dropped
French
out of high school,
toast
too, in
and
college.
hors d'oeuvre.
Hors d'oeuvre.
Hors d'oeuvres, another good one.
This
Let me
might
get one
be-
of those
Oh,
orders.
you know what? One of my favorite ones, I just thought of it, is, when people say this is a homage.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
this- I like to say, this work
an
is an
homage.
homage.
it's a homage.
It's an homage.
Homage. This is definitely
also think
some sort of homage, man.
Southern people do that, though. They try to use big words to compensate for sounding dumb.
Yeah, but
So
then they
you'll
fuck
notice
up the
that.
pronunciation and sound dumb anyways.
Well, not always.
At least they know the
Like,
word.
yeah, look, there's a lot of
Yeah.
smart Southerners, but I think like that's you'll notice that there's a constant, even among the dumb people across the spectrum. Everybody's
Why is
reaching
you
for
pointing at me?
words to try to prove something.
Pointed at you, even the dumb people.
Well, the thing about my intellect. Well, I don't. Okay.
thing about me is intellectually, I'm sexy, but I got no substance. You know,
They
it's all
probably say
makeup.
something like intellectivity.
Intellectually.
That shit.
Metaphysically, they would use the word metaphysically in the wrong place. That feels more.
I'm metaphysically jacked right now.
Let me hyperly extend this word for you.
But I have to say, like, part of the reason that I do what I do is to try to fight stereotypes of Texas and the South.
That's beautiful.
You
I
try
mean,
to
I'm a-
fight
what-
stereotypes.
I'm a
of
lost
Texas?
cause, but I
So
am
what it-
giving
So
you a
I'm
platform.
a big reader.
Yeah, what is it that you do? You're a big reader?
Yeah.
You're not
I
that
mean, I
big.
know a lot of words. I know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm at least number 5 books now, 6 books, somewhere around there. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just think, there's a. We were talking about Texas earlier. I grew up in Texas, had a Democratic governor who was a woman named Ann Richards, who beat George Bush
Oh,
in an
Pysically.
election.
Oh,
Okay.
And,
W?
and
That's how you
her
become the
daughter, as a
governor,
matter
you
of fact,
box.
her daughter
That'd be
just resigned as president of Planned Parenthood. So Ann Richards, we're talking lefty left or something.
For Texas, at least.
And Willie Nelson was king, and Willie's, certainly.
where does he lean? Right or left?
Republican. Oh,
Willie.
God, man. Take the,
Willie's left,
He's left
dude.
to shoot smoking
Left.
weed every day, dude. He's all about
He's
smoking
badass
weed.
though. He lives in Texas. That's
He's
so
the,
right.
Willie's the only guy who smoked weed at the White House, supposedly.
Only? No way.
Only
Yeah, right.
documented.
Obama was doing it.
Well, maybe.
Every
Whatever.
president's been
Well,
doing it.
actually,
Clinton was
so
for
this
sure
would
getting
be-
high and playing that
so
fucking
Clinton-
saxophone.
Not to mention all the
He
people
won't
in the
say about
staff
that.
over the years.
Yeah.
The
Who's
speculation
getting
is
high in the
Clinton
broom
and
Willie.
closet and
Willie.
shit.
Turns out the White House has a calligrapher, and I promise you, he gets high.
George Washington was probably smoking weed in the White House.
Oh,
I
fuck
got
yeah,
that.
I'm sure. Why do you think he had so
But-
many people confiscating it?
Just be nice to Willie, okay?
I am nice. I respect Willie. If he's from Texas, then that's the other
Oh,
thing I
well,
like.
great. So I don't know. I think there's, even in Texas, 40-something% of the people voted for fucking Hillary Clinton.
That's
You know what
sad.
I mean? So it's like
That's
you
not a
really think about
majority.
that.
Yeah, that's not a good
And,
thing.
but it's like half the, and there's a lot of great, I think, smart people. I also think that, sometimes that moral superiority that comes from that stuff that creates repression, creates beautiful art and stuff that kind of springs up from underneath it. And so
I'm
there's
a
just,
fan
I
of
want
art.
to tell those stories and find the weirdness and love in it. And,
Do you have a good one for us right now?
it's not all about shooting guns. I had to work on a project that had something to do with guns, and I was like, well, I don't know. Look, here's where I draw the line. I like shooting beer cans. That's about it.
I do like that.
If it goes beyond that, I'm not really.
That
into
seems
it.
pretty good. Like that's because that's fun. You get all your
Shit's
kicks.
fun. Yeah, shit.
I don't have a problem with hunting at all.
I don't either.
I don't
mean, I
either,
do
no.
because I don't like to get up that early.
See, I like
You
to
know what I
run
mean?
the animals
That's
down,
my
I've
general
never
problem.
been
then
hunting, but
bite
you
them
know,
in the throat.
I mean, leave the animals alone. Just kill the people.
I'm
Well, I can't-
just-
no.
I'm a
No, I'm
weird,
team people.
Weirdo hippie, riding around acting strange. Hunted anything except. Well.
Have you ever
Can't,
hunted?
we won't really say that on the podcast, but
Have you ever hunted before, Cosmic Cowboy?
well, I've hunted a lot of things.
What is your biggest game? Don't say women.
Well, I was just going to say, do we have to wear her right now? It wouldn't be fair to her. But she was a big girl. And, heart of gold, though, I tell you what. That's so hard. Woman is just beautiful. So that's the biggest I ever hunted. Bagged, anyways, as they say. No, I don't particularly care for it a whole lot. It's a big pain in the ass. And I like to go to the grocery store. And I'd rather, fucking
Hey, I hear you.
write songs and play with dogs and
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's solid.
It's
Like,
fine.
I hate the grocery
Ralph's is
Why?
fine. Well, I'd like to go to the grocery store more than I'd like to go out and fucking have to shoot something.
Pour
fucking
piss
pull
on your
feathers
legs
off
and
the
stuff.
son of a bitch and pull the bullet.
But wouldn't you rather go to a restaurant?
Yeah, restaurants are fine too.
That's the number one
But they always
in the
fuck with
grocery
steak,
store
though.
hunting and restaurant scenario.
They always
Everybody's
fuck with
choosing
steak up at
restaurant.
the restaurant.
what about home cooked meal?
Depends who's
I gotta
cooking.
do my
Not
own
you.
steak.
You're just showing up
Can't-
for it.
Can't have that happen.
If it's a pretty lady that's got a good sense of culinary
Probably
flavor.
my mother.
If
Yeah,
it's
how
your
you
mom,
translating those skills? The lesson skills and whatnot to cooking for the ladies. You getting a lot of ladies over there.
no.
Do you want some help? I got a couple go-to meals.
Oh, I thought you were
just
talking about
throw
women.
together.
What's
Huh?
your go-to
Some
lady
cosmic
killing meal?
recipes.
Oh, I got so many. I mean, I could throw a bouillabaisse together like it didn't even happen. You know what I
A
mean?
what?
A bouillabaisse.
What that?
Bouillabaisse.
Well, it's a
That shit is
seven-fish
good,
stew.
man.
I mean, it's
It's a stew?
yeah, it's a stew.
It's a
Seven
Cajun.
fish,
It's like a New Orleans thing, right?
French thing, yeah, French Cajun thing.
I've never had
It's
that.
good.
Yeah,
It's like
easy
gumbo
shit,
a little
you
bit.
know, I can
Oh,
throw-
I know
always
gumbo.
steak's always a good go, but do a little mushroom reduction in there.
So
You
let me
know-
ask you this: for the bouillabaisse stock,
Yes.
chicken stock.
Well, you have fish stock. So what I like to have in my
Ooh, I like
fridge
that.
at any point. See, here we go back to now the stereotypes. In addition to the Totino's pizza rolls, tater tots in my freezer, I also save my shrimp shells
Oh,
and
the
things
stock.
like that. So what
That's
I'm doing
smart.
in the bouillabaisse is I can just make my own fish stock. But I'll usually buy fish stock too.
Do you mix up all kinds of bones and shells from different animals and shit?
You got to.
Well, the only thing I cheat on is I don't always use 7 fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking fun. She's not gonna know.
What if she's counting? What if she's what if
not
she's
gonna
just
She's not
counting?
gonna know. And so,
I fucking love that.
I'm
That's
sorry, I
like
only
good,
count
that's like
5
good
fish here.
romantic advice.
so yeah.
That's
But
hilarious.
you do
She's
a
not
couple
gonna
of
know.
shellfish. You do
Are you
like
trapped,
one
John?
kind of.
Cosmic Cowboy, your boots are.
You just
You're
chapped his
stepping on
ear.
my headphones.
Well, I'm a
That's right. That's our fault.
big boy.
I blame our casting Our stage direct designer, me.
You guys really need a bigger staff.
Yeah, one day. I've been trying to get a bigger staff. I've been buying all these pills from the gas stations. Like, nothing's working.
That's your problem, man. Don't go to the gas station.
Well, I can't afford a doctor. Or to go to Beijing, where the good
Do
stuff
your
is.
politics allow you to have interns?
Yes. I have
Yeah.
very little politics.
I'll
I
take
follow.
How many interns do you have, bro?
None yet.
This is
If
the call
anyone
for
would like to be an
interns.
intern,
It's a call for
please let me
interns
know.
immediately.
Please write in matureadulttime.com. We'll happily
You
train
don't want
you.
to get on board with this dream.
You can
now.
be
For those
part
of
of
you
it.
at
We
USC
don't
majoring
know.
in radio,
Yeah. You guys, anyone out
You're
there?
got a
on the
job
ground floor
for
of
you.
something that's truly meaningless.
Hey, a bunch
mean-
of kids graduated with that shit. Don't know what to do with that
Yeah.
degree. Come here and learn how to do it right.
you could hang out with 3 college dropouts and an underachiever that did go to college. Did you guys go to college? I know you just said you did.
I went to a bunch, mostly to skateboard, but UCLA, USC.
Doesn't count if it's campus activities. I'm asking if you
I went to a
pursued
community college.
degree.
I went to a community. I did not. I
Oh,
tried
well,
to.
that counts.
I tried to. I wanted to. Photography was always like a passion of mine. That industry died. Then I wanted to be in radio. That industry died, and then I just gave up. I'm like, I'm gonna start working for myself, man.
Really?
Fuck that. Well, not then, but I knew I wasn't gonna pursue that. Everything my education has ever given me was useless by the time I was able to try and implement it.
But
so
hey, look, you could
that's
string together lo-fi photography and lo-fi radio
Ta-da.
and find a new
here
thing
we
to
are.
do with your damn life. Fucking making lemonade over here.
Now I'm a gazillionaire from podcasting.
Yeah.
I got to make up a number.
Didn't
for
y'all
me.
put some ads on this thing or something?
Oh
We
yeah.
need to get a
Oh, yeah.
sponsor.
This is gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to take over your podcast, but I have
It's
a
not
couple
mine.
sponsors for my show.
Well,
later.
give it out. Tell
Just
people
wanna,
about
I
what
want
you
to
do.
plug Lone Star Beer, Wolf Brand Chili, and Jimmy Dean Sausage.
Fuck yeah,
Thank
dude.
you,
Jimmy
Cosmic
Dean
Cowboy.
sausage. That's where it's at.
See you
Dude,
show
I
later.
love those. I've been into the links.
Dude,
I love sausage links.
I love
They're
any
so
kind of processed sausage.
Oh,
I
dude,
guess
if,
right.
it's all
if y'all
processed
ain't
in
eating those
there.
breakfast
Meat's
sandwiches,
better when it
you're
goes
doing
through a
your life
machine.
completely
I
wrong.
love breakfast sandwiches. A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
How
about.
good is that shit?
Dude, I used to have
Okay,
a
so-
George Foreman, and that would be my thing. I would take the whole link thing and just put it like a patty.
Oh, you
Oh,
animal.
fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, just make an egg while that's happening, and then sandwich
That's
it
like
up.
8 servings is 1 serving. For that.
Did you do the lean
I was a
one?
growing boy. That's
Did
why I
you
got
go
so
lean?
tall. No, I go.
Fuck yeah, you didn't.
I got the regular
You
original.
go
shit.
sage?
No, is there sage?
Yeah. Then there's hot.
I don't go to good grocery
I
stores.
like the hot.
Yeah, I always go
Yeah.
hot
Yeah.
link or
Yeah, I like spicy.
I'm
salted.
original. Well, I even like getting in a little sage. You know, I'm soft. I like to spend a lot of time out in nature. And I study the plants in the desert, of which sage is one. And
Like,
So
out of
like
all the
the-
places to study plants, that's the least impressive.
No, those
That's
are
the
in the
least
desert?
amount of plants
I
in the
think
fucking
Oh,
deserts,
desert.
no, there's great
deserts are
plants
very
out there.
impressive. Like,
I think
yeah,
so,
to
yeah.
live out there
You know
with
what the
nothing.
thing
If
is?
you're studying
you got
plants
to
in the
know-
jungle, that's saying
Yeah.
something.
Well, hey, listen. Tell you
Plants
what, if
easily
you
grow
ever
in the
get
jungle.
dropped in the desert and you're just feared for your life, you know, I don't know what to do, and I can only make one phone call. I can only have one dude to help me survive this. I think I know who you'd call.
Calling Cosmic Cowboy.
I would
call the cops.
parachute in.
I'm lost in the desert.
No. I would bring us some mescaline, you know, and peyote, and we would help you find the way in nature to then find your own way out. You don't need anyone's help.
So
I'm just
you're-
there to facilitate
You're,
your
tra-
journey.
you're trapped and scared in the desert, out there for God knows how long, and here comes your rescuer with just a bunch of mescaline and peyote. I think that's great.
Water.
Wanna
I
get-
love
Take
water.
some fucking water.
It was like this.
Yeah,
You
water.
think you're scared now.
You don't even know what fear is.
Yeah, 44.
and he leaves you
mescaline
there.
And some water. You can't go wrong with that. That's a great plan.
I like that. I'm definitely calling you if I'm ever dumped in the
Because,
desert.
by the way,
I wanna get
because we're
lost
out
in the desert right
and I
now.
know how to eat things. I remember we went on this trip one time to Big Bend. Big Bend's rough. It's actually some of the most remote areas in America.
Are you saying Big Ben or
Big
Bend.
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 B-E-N-D. Yeah.
Ben?
Bend.
Where's that? Where's Big
Big
Ben?
national park. It's in West Texas. I mean, as we talked about it earlier, down on the border on the Rio Grande. It's rough country, and
That's probably where they made it
Trump,
a park.
Trump said he's going to put a wall there, which is real smart because there are these 10-foot or 10-story high canyons that separate the river. You know, so the two countries are separated by these canyons, and it's completely impassable. So we're going to put a wall. It's going to be perfect. And
Why
I
would
think it
you-
should be a
so
moat.
anyways, we went down there and we thought we were going to fish. in the Rio Grande. There's no fucking water. We got down there and there were dudes wading across the Rio Grande with trash bags. There wasn't any fish to be found. Of course, we didn't have any food, so we just took, I think, rice and beans. That's all we had with us. It was about there 3 days, and a 22, and that's it.
a little gun, some rice and beans.
You had nothing. You couldn't do nothing with nothing.
That is so Texas.
And
We had nothing
but
but
I remembered
rice
all
and
my
beans.
training.
Did you have your
you know?
boots on?
So I made us. I
Your Jim
harvested
Llama
a bunch of
boots.
prickly pears.
How did you do that?
I don't even know what a prickly pear
delicious.
is.
You
Yeah,
ever
what?
had
Yep.
one?
I've heard of it.
Well, the
It's a cactus.
Mexicans like to eat nopales, which are the actual grain part.
Oh.
And the way you just get them, and then use a lighter to kind of burn off the spines, even the ones you don't see.
All right.
Peel them off.
That's
But
a good
the
move
prickly
right
pears
there.
are
Kinda
the
what you do
purple
with
things that
peach
are on
fuzz
top of the
on your first
cactus.
victim.
Those things are like figs. They're delicious and they're so juicy.
I
We
love
didn't have
figs.
much water either.
I never liked figs.
Well,
You're not a
whatever.
fig
When
guy.
you don't got water,
I like
you'll
figs.
suck on one of them things.
Figs are
You'll be like, "This is
delicious,
great
dude.
fig."
I'll
Juice in it.
All right. I mean,
Like
I
this
believe
fig.
it.
That's
Like
a
this
good.
fig.
that's a
Desperate
great
times, you know.
Hey, you don't want to drink that Rio Grande water. Ooh.
I'd probably go for the Rio
Not
Grande
after the
water
Americans
before the
touched it.
prickly pears.
thing. I drink all the water.
Prickly
I don't
pears
know,
are great.
It
There's a lot of
sounds
good fruits and foods and
Yeah, but you gotta know how to
think.
prepare it. Which
I
you
just
know.
told you, use a
That's
lighter.
just
Now
the
you know.
fruit. Just use a lighter to burn off the things.
We
then
gotta
just
get a
peel it with
camping.
knife.
We gotta get a camping thing going
Oh,
with
that's
you,
it?
Cosmic Cowboy.
Yeah,
I got a
that's
bunch
it.
of fireworks.
It's like a fucking fruit.
I thought that was the first step of many.
And
There's
then
only
like the
two
the
steps.
dark purple ones are delicious.
Burn
They're
it and eat
sugary and great. Just
Burn
the
it
outside
and
quick.
peel it.
You peel it. Yeah, and then eat it.
Yeah, just peel it. You could just peel it, but there are gonna be spines you don't see, so you only do that once. Next time you use this
And then you hopefully you don't jerk off after. Get those invisible
So-
spines. For you
you
to
ever
do
done
it.
that with jalapenos? I do it every
Yeah.
fucking time. I'm cooking
I was
hot chili.
I was lucky and I had a friend do it, and so I've been aware of that.
I do it every single time. I either like have an itch on my dick, which not, hey,
I mean,
I'm not gonna talk about. I'm
Okay.
fine, okay?
All right.
You're
Doctor
human.
says I'm fine. It's fine. But I either do that or grandma, and every time I'm like, I know this is gonna suck. Just debilitating.
Why don't you just get some gloves and cut the peppers that way?
That's so smart. Look at this millionaire
You know what I mean?
with cutting pepper
Yeah.
gloves.
That's what they do in the
College-
restaurant
college
industry.
boy
You
over
know?
Trying to
here.
live off the land, John. Trying to use plastic
You
gloves.
can find latex in the land.
Quit flexing that college degree, John.
Yeah. Where's your problem solving now?
I'm learning some things.
How's the group work helping?
You talked about peyote earlier.
Peyote.
Is there a lot of peyote in the desert? Is
Nope,
it easy to find?
It's way over harvested, so almost all gone.
That sucks.
There's a couple of tribes that were allowed an exemption, but most of the older guys are dying off in those tribes, so
Yeah.
they don't know what's going to happen. So they're probably going
That's
to
scary.
lose all the exemptions. There's a couple museums where they're keeping the species alive.
Interesting. Well, that's no
Hey,
good in a
there's a
museum.
couple of
They're not gonna
basements
let you
keeping it
fucking
alive,
smoke
too.
in
Which,
there.
which the nice thing is, I'm glad that those guys don't worry too much about anybody who would want that stuff, because you just need to keep it nice and accessible. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I've
we
never
can
done
all
that
just
before.
appreciate
Is
it.
it pretty? How's it compare to mushrooms?
I think it's more powerful. Probably. I've never done it either.
yeah, I've never done it myself.
It's the same chemical. It's
Yeah.
mescaline.
But isn't it a bunch more?
Well, I just think however you ingest those things, you're ingesting
No, wait,
them
is
from
it
the
mushroom
earth.
psilocybin?
Yeah, mushrooms
you're
are
right.
psilocybin. Yeah.
And peyote's mescaline.
Yeah. peyote's
Okay, so
mescaline.
mescaline's the same
Mescaline's got to be stronger.
as okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do
I've never done either
Where
of
do
those.
mescaline greens fall in the mescaline?
Yeah, nowhere.
Sounds like
Because
delicious
I've
salsa.
never tripped off of those before.
Yeah, no.
You eat
No.
buttons.
I mean, you probably need to eat more of them anyways. Even though they're not working. But I would say not for that purpose. You know what I mean? The price should have tipped you off immediately.
I
These
wonder-
things are way too cheap.
Well, how much does actual mescaline cost?
I don't know anything about that.
Well, you're a harvester, so
What if you had to make a guess? Like
No,
a-
I don't know. I mean, you kind of don't get it like that. And I think all these things, you go out licking frogs and There's a great show on Vice right now about Hamilton's pharmacopoeia.
I can't stand that guy.
I like that he goes out and does
Yeah.
this stuff, but he's so boring. He just sits
Yeah,
there and he's
I would
always
like to
talking
see
like
Cosmic
this.
Cowboy doing that. That guy's always like, oh.
I've met Hamilton. I think
Yeah?
he wants
Wow,
to be
shots fired
serious.
against his personal friend.
No,
Sorry.
it's fine. It's fine. Look, I just, I love all those guys. They're all kind of in their own way. They used to have a guy. Who was the other guy? Balls Deep or whatever. They used to have a kid that would just go do drugs and get crazy.
I like that.
And that would be cool too. But
See, when I was growing up, we had
we're
David
dealing
Tell
with the
doing that.
youth here. And
Yeah, you're right.
Gotta be more responsible. Yeah.
even David Tell wouldn't do that again. I think he.
That was pretty badass, though.
dangerous.
Insomniac was one of my
Insom-
favorite things.
I loved watching that as a kid.
I was
It
like,
was
that's how I want to live. Just chasing Jaeger and being in new towns. Telling some comedy, getting fucked up, and seeing what you could do after midnight.
That is a pretty sweet gig. That like
It was.
a lucky person.
He used
gets
to go to
do
like
that show.
breweries and like
He
Civil
said that,
War
like,
reenact-
he still gets laid on that. Like girls come up to him on the street and like,
He's also one of the funniest dudes alive. So like,
that helps probably.
that guy could turn a
Well,
phrase
there
into
was
some
a
pussy
bit
for sure.
there was a bit about him with chicks. It wasn't like take a shirt. I don't know.
He used to have a really good one where he's like, he shaved his head because he wanted to look tough, but he ended up just looking like a baby. So he's just like, wah, give me pussy, wah. And David Tell is a genius.
They always say David Tell is pound for pound the greatest joke writer of all time.
100%. I heard he calls
The
comics.
pound for pound thing is all that. I don't know what to make of that.
Pound for pound just means like how much you weigh. It doesn't matter if you're in a heavy class or a lightweight. We're just saying skill wise, you're the best. Because
Yeah. Well,
like
then why
you'd
don't they
imagine
just
it-
say you're the
Mathematical
best?
formula would be if you did power over weight divided, you would get a number.
that's how it
They
works.
would do that for the other person, and it would be a ratio. See, then you would decide who was bigger.
I like that.
I just feel like it's Sunday afternoon. What are we doing with people's lives? If we're not going to teach them a little math.
That's right.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you picked that one up in college, but I just thought I'd lay it on you real.
Dude, I just got schooled.
I didn't need to go to college to learn to count. In fact, I had to learn to
See,
count
Matt-
just to go to college.
Metaphysically, this is a
That's a
very
good one,
important concept
metaphysically.
that I want you to understand.
That's going to be the title of
That's
this
what,
episode.
that's what a
Metaphysically.
callback is, right?
Yeah.
there. That's what a callback is.
Cowboy, you kill me, man.
All right.
Where did you guys meet this guy?
He's a talented DJ. He plays some of the best country music you're going to hear. He's
Here?
Yeah, he's going to play it
He's
after
gonna play
this.
it right after this.
We're lucky. He's sparing us some time. Trust me.
Yeah.
He's going to show up and do a more professional job than
Oh,
this.
yeah, yeah.
And he's going to kick ass.
Oh wow!
That's how it started, but then Eric and I hooked up on Grinder. And,
There you go.
So
So how's that going?
It's
I think
funny
I know
'cause,
where the
like,
rest of the
we're here to-
podcast
we're here
is
together.
going.
Who won that wrestling
you know,
match?
I always love to lose.
Oh,
I'll tell you more
shit.
about my soft and sensitive side.
There we go.
Well, yeah, you have to come. You have to hang around and watch some of the shit.
Yeah, watch some Cosmic Cowboy. He's also
I basically make a 80s public access television program
But it's awesome.
of really old country shit. That's weird.
Do you have a website or anything?
I do. It's cosmiccowboy.la.
Boom.
so check it out.
What is that? L.A.
Los Angeles.
Oh,
Stands for Los Angeles.
nice. I've heard of that place.
Yeah.
So
Sharp
it's not
Town.
It's actually, I think it's Latvia. I think basically I'm in bed with the Russians.
That's all right. I would
That's
love to
fine.
be in bed with
I think
Russians.
it cost me about
That
10
sounds
extra
sexy.
dollars to do that. But I thought it was real clever because, I'm in L.A.
Yeah, you are. He
And
is
I
talented.
thought, well,
Anyone
what a
listen to
time
this,
be alive.
if you ever
I
hear
can just
Cosmic
tell 'em,
Cowboy,
here I am. Not only am I on the fucking internet, I'm on the internet and I'm in a physical place. How about that? .com losers.
I love it.
Yeah, but you're
I'm
not
also on
you're
Instagram.
not a commercial
Howdy
entity.
Cosmic. I'm on Tinder. I am Grinder. I think I'm on that Bumble one where they got to talk to you first.
You really put yourself out there, man.
How do you do on
I'm trying.
Bumble?
I'm on the Facebook. Definitely there.
What about
Cosmic Cowboy.
Craigslist? That seems like your wheelhouse.
It used to be a good time. You know what I mean? I try to settle things down. I'm trying to be try to be a little bit more cosmic, a little less cowboy. These days. And just try to tighten
You
things
should be
up.
fucking around in the miscellaneous section, man.
If you think I have, boy, I've done things. You couldn't even dream of people who told you terrible stories of shit people told them. I'm fucking 3 levels off.
Really, dude? I just talked to a guy named Cowboy earlier. There he is right there.
Yeah.
That guy has some fucking stories.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
curious to see
I don't want to trade. Yeah, well,
a matchup between you and him.
I'm
I'll
not
see
into any dick
whether you still like
measuring
losing.
contest, particularly. We're all good men.
Yeah.
But I
We've
don't
all
know.
done our thing. But I've been in a few miscellaneous sections
Yeah.
in bad parts of town and in
Yeah,
third
you were
world
miscellaneous
countries that I
section in your
know.
high school yearbook.
And this cowboy's run on the wrong side. He's worn the wrong hat a few times. So I know how it is.
That's the way of the cowboy,
when
man.
you're riding
You got to
with the
get in
other
a little
brand,
trouble.
So we just try to look out for everybody now.
Okay.
Love that.
But yeah, hey, Craigslist used to be fun.
I've
What's
never
up
really
about
fucked
this
around with it. That shit makes me
instantaneous
nervous.
thing,
Why would you be nervous of Craigslist?
I just feel like
Really?
I'd get roped into something that I didn't want to do. I'm
I
very
feel like
easily
that
persuaded.
too, actually. I kind of agree with you on that. I think you might get roped into something. Listen, if you need somebody to evaluate it, I'll give you another kind of call situation. Like, you're in a shit situation. You're like, you know what? This Craigslist thing seems too good to be true.
Yeah.
Call me up, man, and walk me through it, and I'll go, here are the angles on this sucker.
Okay.
Here's how you get in and out of there with honor.
Well,
Respect the earth.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you learn that kind of thing from trial and error, right?
Craigslist?
Yeah. Like what you so elegantly described as the too good to be true scenario. You only know once you've taken that chance and it blew up in your face. You haven't learned from failure. You read a
Well,
lot.
I think you get a little bit of that. But, I don't know. I got all kinds of opinions on it, I guess. I think one is, a phrase I like to say is, you got to throw a lot of Hail Marys to get this kind of fucking touchdown record. You know what I mean? You can't be throwing safe passes all day. And expect to get this kind of fucking number.
So you live your life like you're playing Madden on easy. Just
No,
Hail Mary,
he's,
Hail Mary,
he's living
Hail
life
Mary.
like he's
I
playing
like
NFL Blitz, man.
No, because I'm fucking, it's definitely NCAA. It's not fucking, there's no fucking bad.
It's all spread off that too.
It's a huge spread offense. It's just straight 4 out, just fucking go.
Just
And,
some schoolyard football. I like
and
that.
it's mathematical thing. But so there's that, but I also just, I think, again, getting back in touch with the universe, being in touch with the earth, trying to understand your relationship to other people, you can start to vibe shit out, like where people are at. I think if you go into
Even
things
on
with a good
Craigslist?
heart, you got to talk to them
Everywhere.
first. It's
Yeah,
not like
there's people everywhere.
fucking sending them your address and they're just showing up. You gotta fuck talk.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
there is a screening process.
So
Like,
you get like
I got
you
too
gotta
nervous.
vibe
I'd
stuff
be
out.
swayed
Listen,
by the
I'm not
screening
saying
process.
it's any kind of this is gonna be incredibly incriminating. Well, I don't know. I've met people on the internet. I guess that's just my advice. I admit to it. I too. My name's Cosmic.
Yeah, no.
I've met people on the internet for sex.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, what else is the internet for?
Welcome, Cosmic.
All right. Well, what do you say we wrap this up?
What?
Get on to a little big picture show.
Yeah, if you don't cut me off, I'm just gonna keep ribbing this guy.
We're
for
done?
the afternoon.
This thing flew by. How long have we been doing this?
About 45 minutes.
That's it? I
Yeah.
feel like I learned so
It
many
was
things.
a great episode. So there.
Me too. This was an honor having John Davenport here and
Yes,
Cosmic
yes,
Cowboy.
thank
I
you
think
for
it was
sitting
good.
in,
I
John.
think the second half is better than the first half.
Hell yeah.
You don't want to cut that up. Put more ads in the second half.
We'll just let it run.
What are you sponsored by again?
Jimmy Dean sausage.
Wolf.
Wonderful sausage available with hot sage and original flavors. Try the breakfast sandwiches. Wolf brand chili, no battered chili. This is out of the Pegasus Lone Star beer. Nothing refreshes cowboy like a cold Lone Star beer.
That's true. That's true.
God bless Jimmy Dean sausage, Wolf brand chili, Lone Star beer. God bless mature adult time. God bless Texas.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Cosmic Cowboy. I think you've turned
California,
me. You've turned me over.
Yeah, just
One
come on
extra
down
thing
with
I
me.
like about-
Texan now.
No, I just like
Come
three
down
things
and hang
about
out with my
Texas.
Tejano family. We'll do you up right.
Yeah, but one of the things you didn't like about Texas before was just the other thing.
Yeah, that one. I didn't
We
know what it
still don't
was
know
yet.
what
And
that
that was
is.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah, Willie.
And then now Cosmic Cowboy.
And Ann Richards. You know, look her up.
She sounds cute.
All right.
Oh, she's a firebrand. All right.
So that's CosmicCowboy.la.
That's CosmicCowboy.la or just here.
Cool.
Every once in a while.
I don't have a
Cosmic Cowboy
website.
Big Picture
Do you have
Show,
anything,
that's
John?
what we're doing.
I know.
John hosts a comedy show called Homegrown Comedy in Santa Monica monthly.
Thank you for that plug.
And you guys can
The
always
next
check
one's
that
on
out.
St. Patty's
He's
Day.
funny.
Woo! That's March
Funny.
17th, right?
March 17th, 11:30 at the Westside Comedy Theater. Come to Homegrown Comedy. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You guys can check out John Davenport there. CosmicCowboy.la.
Just check me out everywhere.
MatureAdultTime.com.
Yep, and I'm just Dart Hernandez.
I'm gonna
Fuck
be
yeah,
checking
dude.
you out.
Eric Cass. Hell yeah, Cosmic.
All right.
Thank you, Cowboy.
How do we know if we're done?
Thank you
All
guys.
right. Thanks,
We're done
guys.
now.
We're done now.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
great.
Turn your mic off.
Bye.